Hey folks, it's Ben. I'm here over narrating this video, parts of it anyway, because we had some camera issues, but we're going to go exploring a coal mine. So you hear me talking about that right here, and then there are bits that do have audio, so we're going to get into one of those right now. In my case, the book was From Big Knife to the Battle. It's a history of Gadsby area. And here in Alberta, there are a lot of these books for specific areas of a region. And what they've done is essentially is they've taken all the written or verbal history of the area, interviewed people and built up statistics and made a history book of that area. A lot of them, like the back half of this story of the book, is people's family recollections. So this is the McPhee family, and there's Harold McLeod and that sort of thing. But in the front part, it's a lot more general history, like do you remember what that was, or where was this, and things like that. And so reading through this book, and this is in the area from where we're abouts, looking up coal mines in our area. And so reading through this, the neat thing about Alberta is it's broken into sections that you can easily kind of see out. So you'll notice a lot of these are like Southwest 1839-15 and what have you. And so you can find those on a map, and it's pretty cool. But I was reading one, and it struck me in particular because it's kind of close to where we are. It says in 1921, Arthur Haywood Sr. opened a mine on Southwest 740-16 and was offering coal at $2 a ton at the mine. Well, that's near some people I know. And so where exactly is that? So let me bring you over here. This is the County of Stettler map from 2017, so it's pretty good. And as we zoom in, this is the Gadsby area, because this is a book on Gadsby area. So we'll zoom in, and not to get too confusing here, and it's also kind of on a slower iPad, so it's going to be kind of slow. I'll scroll up here. So the area we're talking about is right here. So we were at Southwest 17. The big number here is 4016. So we have 4016, and then it's broken into, I think, 32 different sections. And it starts off on one corner and just keeps counting up and what have you. So at this point in time, just to make sure that I'm on the right one, we're on this map only covers the edge of it. This orange line is actually the 4016. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, all the way at 18, 19, 20. So that's how it's kind of gridded out. So we're at, we're in 4016, and we need to be in section 7. So that's right here. So we're in 4016. Section 7, Southwest, is right here, and I actually happen to know the people that live over here. So I know where this is. I'd like to visit an old coal mine. There are a bunch in the area, but this one I'm specific to because it's not too far from where I am as well. So let's check that out. Now, how do I know where to look on this quarter section of land? Well, that's where we'll come over, and I just happen to have another iPad set up here, to Google Earth, which is fantastic. So looking at the local landmarks and stuff like that, that square on the map is actually this square that you see right here. So it's going to be on this block of land. Now, if we get in closer, you'll notice that this is mostly just fields. So probably anything, but there is a stream with a coulee that cuts through it. And so now we're getting interesting, because this is about where that coal mine would be. So following the path of the stream, you go through and you look for something that's going to be not natural, right? Obviously, this is Paint Earth Creek. It's going to cut through, and the first thing that jumped out at me was right here. You can see that that's a very straight cut of land that you see there, and it's a little bit straight up here as well. It's got a nice approach to it. These are probably cow trails now. This was back in 1921, so we're almost 100 years ago. But this would probably be a good site for a coal location. So as I said, I know the owner of the land, asked for permission, and we're going to head out there and take a peek and see, is there actually a coal mine here, or what's left of this place? So let's go ahead and cut over to that. All right, so here we've got our video, and what I'm doing is we're on the west side of the quarter, and we need to go onto the east side. So I'm panning back and forth over this quarter of land here. And you can see it's been tilled up. It's going to be getting some sort of crop, either wheat or something along those lines here. And where we're going is actually on the other side of it. Not quite where those trees are, a little bit closer than that. But this is essentially what we have to cross over here. Now, this fence line that you see here actually cuts the quarter in half, and so we brought some family members along and things like that. So we're walking down towards where the creek is and where I believe the coal mine to be. And if I zoom in right here, and I think I do, see that white thing? That's the wellhead, and that's approximately where we need to be going. So, in coming to this area, here we've got Paint Earth Creek, which is really not very big in my shadow. Here's a cutout from the creek, and if you look, you can see the different layers, and the black that you see along that, and as you get further down, is coal. So my guess is that they thought that there might have been coal here, and they may have found an actual pocket of it, and that's what they were actually digging out, because the hole over here is very square. And the stream, of course, it's spring, so it's quite full. Later in the summer, we might be able to come back and actually see some more stuff. Okay, so we're here at the site that we saw in Google, and yeah, it's very square for what it is. You can see a square cutout there, and a cutout over here, and it's cut here, and there are little trenches there. So clearly it's an area that has been worked by not nature, but something else here. And there's a little bit of exposure over there on the bank we'll take a look at, but it's kind of neat. So they may have been hauling something out of here. It may not have been a very thick section of coal, or it may have been exploratory, but it does mention that they were digging coal out of here. So my guess is they did find some, and they dug it out, and where all those people are underneath, I bet you there's probably some more, but it's just not economically feasible to get it out, especially when you're down here in a slough, or not a slough, but a creek bed. It's very muddy a lot of the time. You'd want to do something like this come summertime, when this creek becomes just a dribble through the grass. And the final bit of the video we have here, I'm just kind of panning over through where the stream cuts through here, and you can see the cut where it makes. So the natural flow of the earth here tends to go lower, so it's gonna, any sort of coal seam that's gonna be deeper in the ground here, all the topsoil has been removed, so we're already, you know, possibly 50, 60 feet of topsoil that's not there anymore. And you can kind of see the curve of the land, like if you look straight forward, how it's a smooth ridge up here, and that would be where the carts would go down, and then they would come up with a load with oxen or whatever that we're pulling it and stuff. So it's just natural how it kind of cuts a groove in the land, like you see here, and even upstream a little bit there. If you were to go digging, the coal wouldn't be that deep, and there's a coal seam throughout the entire ground that you see here. And then the last part of this video is kind of a neat part. You see this ridge that's right here, and there's a dugout, and that little piece of wood you see on the right, as I look at my hand, I think I'm trying to shelter the wind. That is actually a full 4-foot fence post. And over years and years and years of wind, the soil here is kind of sandy, and it actually builds up against the fence, and eventually grass starts building. And so it's kind of a neat little wall that just forms naturally over dozens of years of sand and dirt just hitting the barbed wire fence, slowing down, and eventually builds up, and you have an entire fence that's buried. So my fingers are demonstrating how tall that fence post would be. But now you only get the tops of them. The problem is of course, there's still barbed wire in there. So there's little bits that hang, you know, out. So if you're riding a horse over it, you still have the ability to get something caught. And now I'm panning back to the west. You can see where we kind of started off from. There's a bunch of people leaving. We got to walk back around. So kind of making everyone dizzy by spinning around here. But this is the area of the land. And like I said, there's a big coal seam under the whole area here. But where we are, it's probably 50, 60 feet before we get to the level of where we were on the riverbank. So to get to any coal here, you'd have to remove a lot of overburden. If you guys have any questions or want more videos like this, please feel free and subscribe to Red Barn Homestead for more awesomeness. Thanks so much. Have a good day.